Shrill, Book 1, Realms of Shadowblood. Written by Troy M. Williams. Narrated by Janelle Tedesco. Prologue. As dusk descended and the bright orange sky sparkled through the tops of the swaying pines, a four-wheeled ranger pulled off the main track onto a small dirt road. It was heading higher into the dark of the Klamath National Forest of northwestern California, its occupants hoping the directions the locals had given them in town would lead directly to a campsite. "Are you sure this is the way?" Stacey said, with a hint of concern in her voice. "Trust me. Have I managed to get us lost yet?" replied Eric. "It shouldn't be far now." Eric Kirkpatrick, Stacey's father, had been a great navigator in his time. He had climbed mountains, hiked through jungles in Africa, and even spent a fair amount of time in his 30s traveling back and forth to South America, where his work as an anthropologist kept him very busy. Eventually, he settled down and created WOSER, Western Oregon Sasquatch Evidence and Research Team. Now in his late 40s, Eric mainly worked in a lab, scientifically analyzing data, DNA and bones from different finds and digs across the Pacific Northwest, hoping to finally prove the existence of the elusive Bigfoot, or Sasquatch. Although Eric didn't conduct fieldwork too often now, he decided to help his daughter. Stacey had been studying anthropology as well as cryptozoology, and although only 21 years old, was already showing signs of becoming a great asset to the field. Half an hour later, the two excited explorers were nearing the summit of the lower mountain area. "There, Stacey, I told you," Eric said. The ranger rolled off the rarely used but still visible track. It had got dark, and although there was a clearing for a tent or two, a cave of dense trees and shrubs seemed to swallow most of the campsite. Stacey and Eric wearily stepped out of the ranger, shining flashlights on what would be their home for the next week, and thinking, maybe we sleep in the car tonight. "Well, looks like cold beans in a can and a rough night," Eric said. Stacey laughed as she pulled the passenger seat down. There were plenty of nights of camping in the past, she thought, and some involved a lot worse than sleeping in a car. They ate dinner and sat talking for hours as the night wore on about Eric's adventures and the excitement of what the future may hold. Eventually they grew quiet. Stacey yawned. "So, who's keeping first watch?" she said with a smirk, obviously joking. She stifled another yawn. It wasn't long before both succumbed to the night and fell asleep. As time slowly crept...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?